another episode of Progress and Promise. Pensacolians have always given to others when asked. A recent town hall meeting about the struggles of Warrington Middle School included a call to parents and the community to take a larger role in helping the students there get ahead. Warrington Middle was given an F last year on the state standardized achievement test. The school has struggled for years, never earning better than a C on those tests since grades were first issued in 1999. The teachers, staff, and students there are under pressure to turn it around and show improvement on this year's version of the state test. And to do that, district officials have asked the community to step forward and help. And while the needs are great at Warrington, students across Escambia County are in line waiting for the help of a mentor. And that's why we wanted to highlight a couple of great programs in our community that aim to pair young people with a mentor to give them the guidance they need to improve their lives. With us today will be Sally Lee and Paula Schell. Sally runs the Take Stock in Children mentoring program, which gives qualified students the chance to earn a college scholarship by keeping their grades up and staying out of trouble. Paula is the CEO of Big Brothers Big Sisters of Northwest Florida, which this year is celebrating 25 years of pairing bigs and littles together to give young people a mentor they need. Before we hear from them, our own Molly Barrows had a chance to talk to some alumni of the Take Stock in Children program to find out what the program has meant to them.
Nicole Brown is living her dream, teaching these exceptional education students at Jim Allen Elementary in Cantonment. These 4-year-olds need special attention to overcome developmental disabilities.
The games that the ESC kids make are just so amazing because when you get them, they're just like minor nonverbal, a lot of them. At the beginning of the year, it was nothing, and then now you hear words, they're talking. And so it's just amazing to be able to help them and know that it's in there. They have the knowledge. You just need to help them get it out. It's amazing. I love it.
Nicole graduated less than a year ago with degrees in elementary school and exceptional student education and started teaching right out of college. The 22-year-old says she owes it all to Take Stock in Children, a mentoring program that provides support and scholarships to students from lower-income families. Nicole joined the program in middle school, and by working with a mentor and keeping up her grades, she qualified for a college scholarship.
And it just made it so much easier. I didn't have to worry about finances. I had to pay for my books. But other than that, I didn't have to worry about much of anything. And I got to look for a job that would help me in my field. I worked at Bellevue Middle School as a teacher assistant instead of looking for a job that would help me pay for college. So I got to focus more on what I wanted to do and to help me succeed.
Joe Sims is another graduate of the Take Stock in Children program. He and his best friend, Theomad, grew up in Brownsville, a Pensacola community struggling for years with crime and poverty. Theomad's father, Thearthur Thomas Sr., was Joe's mentor.
But he was like way more than just a mentor. He was like a father figure in a sense, you know. Like he pretty much took me in like I was a family member. And his older sons ended up coaching me like basketball. He got me involved in like church.
Joe's parents worked constantly to support him and his 3 sisters. He joined Take Stock in Children because it offered him a chance at a different life.
Tired of seeing the same things. Tired of seeing your friends go to jail. Tired of seeing your parents struggle, and you know, it's just like you want more. Like in a sense, you know, you want more for yourself. And I think a lot of people want more, but like I don't know, maybe not having the drive or not having the opportunity to really get to where they want to be.
Joe struggled some to get through college, but he says the steady support from his mentor, people in the program, and friends helped him become the first in his family to graduate from college.
Seeing my mom and dad work so hard, you know, for us, you know, to meet our basic needs or whatever, it's like you want to make them proud of you in a sense, you know. And I remember that day I walked across that stage with that degree in my hand and seeing my mom in tears and seeing all my partners and everybody cheering for me, man, that was like incredible feeling.
Joe now works in social services, helping kids from backgrounds similar to his. His success also inspired his best friend to get a degree in teaching so he can also pay it forward.
When he graduated, I said, okay, now it's time for me to graduate. And so he inspired me to actually go back to school when I graduated in December on Pensacola State. And so it was like, when he did it, it was like a domino effect. It's like, oh man, there is a way to get out of here and we can actually go to college and make something. And he did it, so, okay, I'm gonna go now. And then behind me, other people would come. So it was great, him opening up the doors of graduation, just to know somebody that can do it.
Nicole
the
Brown
mentor comes
agrees
in all
the
the
support
time,
and the cycle of
even
success
if
she saw in
I
Take
was
Stock
having
in Children
problems, I would just call her
inspired
and
her
be
to
like,
stay on
"Hey,"
track
she'd
and
talk
become the
to me,
teacher she
and
wanted to be.
it just helps you know that you can do it unless somebody else there motivates you along.
Thank you for sticking with us. We have just met two of the wonderful alumni of the Take Stock in Children program, Joe Sims and Nicole Brown. They are fantastic young people. We are so lucky that they were able to find this program that helped them get through college. And with us to talk about Take Stock is Sally Lee. Now, Sally, you have been in charge of that program for how long now?
8 years.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that commitment that you've made to the community and to our students, and to finding those students who need a little extra help and attention to kind of get them through and over the hump. That's wonderful. I appreciate the work that you have done in
It's
that for so long.
definitely a program that I'm passionate about, and it's a joy to work in the program because I see the difference it can make in the lives of young people.
And Joe and Nicole, as wonderful as they are not exceptions to the Take Stock children. They are the rule. They are outstanding examples of how many students now have been through the program?
We've, well, almost 200 at
Great.
one way or another,
Yeah.
but they start in the 7th grade. And then we have 123 who are either in grades 7 through 12. We've had over 40 who've graduated from college, some with a 4-year degree and some with a 2-year degree.
And what kind of professions have our alumni gone through?
Interestingly, we have a number of students who have gone into the social services field.
Really?
And they say, we want to help others, which I think is a nice testament to the
That's wonderful.
success. We have one who is a doctor, and she's in her residency right now. We have a young man at FSU who's planning to be a neurosurgeon. We have a young man who is in the astrophysics doctoral department, working on his doctorate.
gosh.
Yeah, many wonderful students doing great things.
Wow, I feel like a slacker
Quite
now.
a few nurses too.
That sense
Again,
of helping
a
and
caring-
giving
exactly.
back. That might be the greatest testament of all that the program has, of just
think so.
inspiring that in those who have benefited from someone else's generosity, choosing to give with their professional careers.
And very often they say to us, we can't wait till the time when we can give back.
Oh, that's wonderful. That must make it so
It
great
makes
for
it
you.
feel good, yes.
Well, so tell me some about how our students get involved in the program, because there is a selection process.
That's right, and it happens in the spring when the students are in the 6th grade. So through our middle school counselors, they make the applications available to students who qualify for free or reduced lunch. So we are looking for students who financially would have a hard time going to college without this program. So they apply in the 6th grade, and if they qualify financially, then we look at their grades and we look at their attendance and their citizenship, and have a selection committee that finally decides which students who applied will be able to be accepted.
I remember Joe Sims telling me once that when he got the letter in the mail at home, that he sort of thought it was a joke at first. Like, what do you mean that I can go to college? But the program is set up to pay for a whole 4 years at a
4
state
years
college,
tuition,
right?
correct. And some of our students go on straight to a university or transfer to a university, and they just make up the difference in tuition, either through Bright Futures or Pell Grants or other scholarships.
Yeah, often these are going to be students who are qualified for Bright
Correct.
Futures, so they can have a bright future. So how do you, as important as it is in selecting the right students, it is equally important to select the right mentors.
It's a very important part of the Take Stock program. For many of our students, they're going to be the first one in their family to ever have the opportunity to go to college.
Wow.
And so when we are able to place them with a community mentor who has had college experience and who has had a career, they're able to talk to them about things that maybe the family has not experienced. They become another adult who just really cares and wants to help point the student in the right direction.
And what kind of training does the mentor have to go through? Because that, it's not something that comes naturally to everyone.
That's right, and they meet with me for the initial training, and then the state Take Stock program provides a wonderful resource. We call it a mentor toolkit, and it has worksheets and suggested topics and interest worksheets, things that they can do with their student.
You, sometimes if the match just, the match ever not work out? Is there not a loophole, but kind of a way to make sure everyone's on the same page?
It's interesting. At the end of every year, we ask our students, did we make a good choice when we picked our mentor, and would you like that mentor back? And honestly, about 98% of the time, the student says it was perfect. And for the 2% who say, well, I'm not so sure, what they really say is, I wanted a mentor who would come more often. And my mentor is so busy, they can't come very often, and so I'd really rather have someone who could be there.
And how often is a typical visit?
It's once a week,
Okay.
somewhere between 30 and 60 minutes. So it's not a long time commitment, but it is important that it be a consistent, dependable, pretty much weekly meeting.
Right, because you want these are people who the child needs to be able to rely on.
Exactly.
Which sometimes is not something they have all the time in their lives.
That's true. And this is the other person in their life who cares. So we can offer the mentor flexibility. The time of day that the student has to meet pretty much is set.
Is it during the school?
It is during the school day. So they're usually missing an elective.
Okay.
Or they may do it around the lunch hour. But the time of day pretty much has to stay the same, but the day could change. And so that sometimes helps the mentor if they have flexibility in day.
So we know what the students get out of participating. What kind of feedback do you get from the adults?
They honestly tell me so often, I get more out of this than I could possibly be giving.
Really?
Because it feels good to help a young person. And they say they have become good friends with the student, and they just enjoy kind of keeping up with what's going on with young people these days.
Washington High School senior Anna Stefanini is thrilled. She just got accepted to the University of Florida.
College is important to me. I'm pretty sure I was born to go to college. It's my biggest life goal up until now was to get into the University of Florida, and having that accomplished has just blown my mind. I'm so ecstatic for my future and for everything I can get involved in next year. And
the Take Stock in Children mentoring program gave Anna the support and financial help she needed to pursue her dream of becoming a veterinarian.
I've always wanted to be a veterinarian, and then one day when I was in 5th grade, my brother brought home a snake, and I was like, oh, that's cool. So I definitely fell in love with reptiles and amphibians. My grandfather is really into frogs. He collects tadpoles, and I have a few tadpoles of my own now. So I learned that there's a type of veterinarian called a herpetologist who specializes in reptiles and amphibians. So that's kind of been my goal. I found something unique to kind of branch off from being a veterinarian. But
Take Stock carefully matches mentors and students with similar interests. Anna and Kathy built a friendship Anna will carry with her to college.
And then sometimes we had some workbook things we worked on, but we moved past that once we got closer. We just started talking about my life and her life, and I normally would bring her cookies, and then she would bring me trail mix, my favorite trail mix. So, yeah, it was wonderful, and it's just having a friend, you can always talk to about things that normally I can't talk to my peers about, or I'm not comfortable talking to my family about. She's just always been there to confide in and share my struggles or accomplishments, and I don't feel like I'm bragging, because I know she's proud of me, and she's helped me be proud of myself too.
Kathy Dutremble is the Director of Enrollment at Pensacola State College. She has mentored Anna since middle school, spending an hour each week with her.
And Anna was the first student that I mentored, and she's really been the only student that I've mentored. I've worked with Anna since she was in the 7th grade. So I've watched her grow up, and we've learned a lot about each other. We've gone through mostly good times, but it's just been a great opportunity for me to spend time with somebody else. I don't have children, so it's a neat opportunity for me to experience what goes on in the lives of young people. She's bright, she's easy to work with. I don't feel like I have to do anything. We listen, we have lunch together, we talk about things. But it's a real sense of accomplishment for me to see how much she's grown and how far she's gone.
Getting this far has not been easy. The pressures of school and growing up are tough on any teenager, and Anna was ready to quit last year. She credits Kathy for helping her stay focused.
It was really stressful and very dramatic, and I was like, I'm not going to college, is pretty much what it was running through my mind at that point in time, because it was just so much. And she was just there, and she sat with me while I cried, and I was like, it's okay, it's going to be okay, you're doing perfect, you're doing fine, so what if you don't pass this one test, because there's really stressful end of the year tests for like AP courses, and so she helped me overcome that because that was really, really a stressful time.
Anna says Kathy's impact has changed her life for the better. Now she not only wants to be a vet, she also wants to cure cancer.
I've had some recent life events happen. I went down to UF actually to have my dog receive a CT scan, and we found out that half of his cranial cavity is filled with a tumor, half to 2/3 of it. And so I was a little shocked. I was like, haven't thought about animals getting cancer as much. And then I found out that one of my aunts recently was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she has to go through chemo and everything, but thankfully she's going to overcome it, and we're praying for her. So I've just kind of been taking these as signs from the universe maybe that I should look into oncology, because when I toured the UF School of Veterinary Medicine, we walked past an oncology department, and I was like, you guys have an oncology department? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, what? So I think that might be something that once I get my bachelor's, that would be something I could specialize in, because I do feel like if we do find a cure for cancer, it'd probably start with animals.
Kathy hopes others in the community will see the value in mentoring.
I think it's a unique opportunity to have a significant impact in a young person's life. I think it helps you look at what's important in your life, and I think it helps provide another outlet for young people. Sometimes they feel like they maybe can share things with another person besides a family member, and I think it's good for them to get perspectives from other people. I think it's a great opportunity, whether you decide to be a mentor or whether you want to contribute financially to provide some of the scholarship monies. I think it provides an opportunity to impact a young person's life, because I think that person then will be more likely to mentor and to have a significant impact in their community wherever they decide to settle and live.
Kathy has little doubt Anna will accomplish her goals and use her talents to give back to the community.
Have you ever done it?
I have, and I have a student right now who's a freshman at Washington.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
What is your student going to do with the rest of their lives?
She is not sure. We're working on that.
Well, that's okay. You don't have to have it all figured out by the time you're a freshman. If folks want more information about Take Stock and how they can get involved, either obviously by donating their time, or you all there are financial contributions that you can make to the program.
Right, and maybe important to mention is that the program operating expenses are covered through legislative dollars, through mentoring funds. And so our salaries are covered that way. But we have to raise our own money locally for the scholarships. And every year, the number of students that we can pick is completely dependent upon how many scholarships we were able to purchase. And we buy them through Florida Prepaid with matching dollars, which is a nice incentive to our donors.
Yes, and where is there a website or at some other place you can go for more info?
www, and then it's takestockinchildren.com.
Well, thank you.
.org, sorry,
.org?
it's .org,
Okay.
yes.
Well, of course, we will have that website linked to on our website, progress.promise.com, for folks who need to get some more information. And Sally, thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
For being on. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the work that you have done over the years. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And that will take care of this part of our show for a minute. If you stick with us, we'll be right back.
What if everyone fulfilled their potential?
What if every child was put on the right path today?
What if every child in America graduated high school?
Went to college and gave to their communities?
What could that start?
It might be the start of something big.
Because every time you donate time or money to Big Brothers Big Sisters, you start something.
Start something.
Welcome back. There is even more great work going on in the community, and here today to share some of that with us is Paula Schell. Paula is the president and CEO of Big Brothers Big Sisters Northwest Florida, an organization that is celebrating its 25th anniversary this year.
We are.
Yes, Paula, thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for all of the great work that you do with Big Brothers Big Sisters and what your organization does in the community at large. Fill a great need, and we are very fortunate to have you all in our studio today and in our community at large.
Well, thanks for having us.
Well, so tell me some about how you got involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters to begin with.
Oh my goodness, I've always worked with kids. Kids have always been my passion, and prior to coming to Big Brothers Big Sisters, I was in the mental health field for about 12 years and just knew that it was time to make a change. And of course, maybe this might be telling my age a little bit, but you looked for job applications in the news journal, you know, in the classifieds. And so I saw that they advertised for this position, and I said, that is what I'm called to do. And here I am, 17 years later, still in the same position and doing some great work in the community. So
wonderful. What kind of feedback do you all get from, obviously, from your kids who participate in the program?
You know, kids can come into our program starting at age 6, and then our ultimate goal is to make sure that they're matched long-term with a big brother or big sister, and so they can stay matched until they're 18. And when they do that, you know, when somebody's in your life for that long amount of time, they become like a part of your family, and they really impact your success and how you grow up in life and the choices you make and the direction that you're going in. And so stories that are starting to circle back around to us, I guess probably the most touching is those littles are coming back around now and they're being bigs.
How wonderful is that?
So, you know, they are now paying it forward, and they're paying it forward back in our local community and impacting a life of a little, which is what we call our kids, themselves, because they know how much that it meant to them in their own personal life.
And there's a waiting list.
We do. I check the numbers, and they change daily.
Sure.
But this morning, it's about 260 kids on our waiting list,
Wow.
waiting for a big brother or big sister. And, you know, that, again, changes on a daily basis.
But certainly speaks to the need of in the community.
It does. And about 76% of those kids are boys. Not that we don't need women. We always need women to come through. But we are in a high demand and a huge need for men. Men that are willing to step up and make a difference in the life of a little boy. Most of the families that we service are primarily single-parent families. That's our focus, and it's mainly single moms. And those moms that are raising those little boys, they don't want a big sister, you know, they want a big brother. They want that male role model, and that's what that mom wants for that little boy. So we do match big sisters to little brothers under the age of 10, and then once those little boys reach age 10, we kind of reevaluate the match. But it's primarily same gender matching. But we do need men.
Why do you think that more men don't volunteer? Is it a cultural, like a stereotype that men don't get involved, or what's
you know,
going on there?
I'm not quite sure. I know men, you know, out there they're focused on their own families and responsibilities that they have in their life, and I guess that would be probably a good segue to tell you that it's not about finding extra time in your life to make a difference. I was sharing with someone earlier that my little sister, and I'm busy in what I do, but she just enjoys spending time with me or going somewhere with me, so I just incorporate her into what I'm already doing. And if I have to go run errands, I just pick up the phone and say, would you like to go with me? And it's just about spending time with me, so it's not me planning anything extra to do with her.
That's a great point. And of course, if people want to have more information about how to volunteer or to become involved, or of course to get maybe their child on the list, where should they go?
We have a simple phone number. It's 433-KIDS.
Perfect.
So that's very easy to remember. So 433-KIDS, and just call us and we'll be able to help.
And the screening process for mentors is?
It's a very strenuous screening process. We do a very extensive intake interview. We fingerprint, local check, references, all of that. So, but it's very quick that you can go through it, and within less than a month you could be matched with a little brother or a little sister.
And there's definitely a need, as we talked about the waiting list, so hopefully someone watching will be inspired to pick up the phone and call you and get involved, because it doesn't take it may take less time than you think it takes.
It does. You can get involved.
And it makes a big difference.
Right. You can do it as little as 2 times a month. And so I think we all have a little bit of time that we could make a difference in the life of our community and the life of our kids.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Paula, for being here.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the work that you do and for the work that everyone at Big Brothers Big Sisters does.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having us.
It's our pleasure, believe me. And we will be right back in just a minute with Shannon's Window if you stick with us.
Wearing the Miss America crown was a dream come true. Growing up, I had mentors who taught me anything is possible. That's why I support Big Brothers Big Sisters. Littles face real adversity. Like me, many have had a parent in prison. Too many, especially boys, are still waiting for their bigs. Volunteer or donate. Start something. Big Brothers Big Sisters alumni, you can start something again. Learn more at bigbrothersbigsisters.org.
Joe Sims is a big believer in the power of paying it forward. So is Nicole Brown. And why wouldn't they be? They are flesh and blood proof of what it can get you. Joe is a social worker in Crestview who works with the United Methodist Children's Home. It's a group home for children who are in the state foster care system. Nicole is a preschool teacher who works with special ed kids at Jim Allen Elementary School. Both of them got to where they are in life thanks to a Take Stock in Children scholarship. Take Stock is a statewide program that matches mentors with students from poor families who apply to the program. Students get a mentor with whom they meet at least once a week to talk, work through their problems in school, whatever they need. Students who complete the program, they must keep a 2.5 GPA, meet citizenship and attendance requirements, stay away from crime and drugs. If they do, they get an $8,400 college scholarship. The Florida Prepaid Foundation matches those donations dollar for dollar. Nicole came to Pensacola as part of a military family, and for as long as she can remember, she wanted to be a teacher. Without the scholarship, she wrote in her application essay, college would not have even been possible for her. It helps a lot to know that you have a dream to follow, she says, so now how do I get there? Take Stock gave her a path toward making her dream come true, and now every day she turns on the light of learning in the eyes of another child. Joe is the son of Brownsville, the second of 4 children and the only boy. Both of his parents worked and did their best, but with 4 kids in a 2-bedroom house meant oftentimes his folks couldn't always keep close eye on everyone. When Joe got a letter in the 8th grade as a Brownsville Middle School student, saying he had the chance to get a scholarship for college, meaning he would be totally paid for, he thought it was a joke. When he walked across the stage to graduate from UWF and saw his mother crying because no one in the immediate family had ever finished college, he knew it was the truth. At Big Brothers Big Sisters, every day Paula Shell and her staff match adults who want to give their time and attention to a child who needs it. And there are more than 160 kids on the waiting list for that chance. So why does giving matter? Because in Pensacola, the need is great. In Pensacola, there are students who think college is a fantasy for other kids because no one in their family ever went to college. Or the money just doesn't add up if they want to go. In Pensacola, only 71% of our white students and 51% of our black students graduate from high school, a figure that is morally reprehensible and frankly economic suicide. Not only for those students, but for the rest of us too. See, Jim Clifton, the chairman of Gallup, says that one of the best indicators of a community's economic prospects is its high school graduation rate. Clifton says kids drop out of school when they lose hope that they'll graduate. And he writes, they lose hope when they aren't excited about what comes next in their lives. The moment they feel that despair, he writes, that's when they start dropping out mentally, and the real thing often isn't far behind. If Pensacola is to truly move forward, we've got to do the best we can to make sure all of our children keep hope alive that they can have a future and that they see they have a path to get there. Without that, the spiral of flat population growth and flat wages will never improve. Companies that value a highly skilled, adaptable, healthy workforce will keep moving elsewhere. Big Brothers and Take Stock are just 2 programs that eat the elephant one bite at a time. They don't win them all, but they win enough of them to make it clear that they're fighting the good fight. Let the rest of us think about how we can join them. Thanks for joining us today. Check us out online at progresspromise.com, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter at @OurProgressNow. We'll see you next time. Thanks.